Oh, hello. Could everyone hear me? Quick mic check. I'm sorry. I do it every time. I'm just going to assume that everyone could hear me. Hope everyone's having a great day. It's Monday. What a beautiful start to the week. My goodness. How's everyone doing? I'm looking at the comments right now. Huge announcement. Sounds great. This is a big announcement. If you guys are already following me on Twitter or Instagram, then you already know, but I am so excited about this. Let me bring it up. I am so stoked. I'm so stoked. I worked really hard on this next video and I'm so excited to share it with everyone. And I kind of just wanted us to watch this. I pretty much made this trailer and this full video comes out tomorrow. And I think it's so dope. So if someone puts a thumbs up in the chat, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll start playing it. All right. You're concerned for RFK's candidacy? All right, we'll talk about it after. Watch this recent video from RFK Jr. We will watch some recent video soon. Someone else said that is a mighty big smile you have today. It is a big smile. I'm sorry, that's the thumbnail picture is not a recent picture, but you know what? My smile is still the same. I'm still excited. There we go. We got a thumbs up. I am hyped. Okay, let's watch this. I'm so stoked. Alrighty.
This is a movement that is
Okay, a little preface. I actually just had pretty much my first interview slash conversation with this man right here. His name is Larry Sharp. He ran for governor in New York, and we had a great conversation. We talked a lot about RFK Jr., his candidacy. We talked a lot about hope. We talked about education. We talked about politics from the left and the right, and it was just so incredible. And I'm really happy with how this conversation came out and I'm so excited for this. And it's going to come out tomorrow, but I did publish this minute 45-second video, kind of like a teaser trailer, just because I just wanted people to see it, right? And I know it's going to be kind of a curveball, like, oh my gosh, wait a second, this video, I'm not talking about, I don't have media popped up here. This is a genuine 2 hour plus conversation, and I'm really excited about this. So I'll just play this little teaser clip real quick.
this is a movement that is as strong as Lincoln. That's the last time we saw something like this. So why am I saying you should vote Bobby Kennedy Jr.?
I've seen so many more Republicans say, I don't care who you vote for. But there is some sort of virus on the left that seems to just feel like they cannot be friends or communicate with someone else.
You can't say, are you for school choice? Now you fight. You got to say, do you want better schools? Yeah, I do. Is the government doing a good job right now? No, it's not. Now we're having a conversation.
But how do we fix this?
If we don't fix this, there will eventually be violence. When people don't have a voice, they will resort to violence.
When the posture is how could we push humanity forward, not every idea is going to come from you.
So if there's any chance to stop it, it is Bobby Kennedy Jr. Be very clear. If you're going, but Larry Trump, but Larry Harris, you are a sucker. They are fooling you. That's why I'm telling you this is a realistic thing to happen. This could happen.
Whoa, that just blew my mind. The world changes.
Bingo, exactly, my friend. You asked me, you said, how do you fix this? There has to be hope. And this is again why you see the mainstream media crushing Bobby Kennedy to destroy the hope. When I was running in 2018, I started making impact at one point. That's when all of a sudden hippies came out.
It's the person who goes through the ceiling or the wall who always gets bloody. Maybe they're not there to walk afterwards, but the next person.
I'm a Marine. I will fight in the front line. I will breach a hole, but you got to run through it. I broke a hole in 2018, and 107 people ran through that hole. Bobby Kennedy Jr. can break this hole, and others can run through it.
Oh, man. Wow. There it is. Did you get the chills? I get the chills watching it, and I edited it. Right? I put it together and I'm still just excited about it because I think it's just so dope. Yes, this is a live stream. Happy that you're here. Hope you're having a great day. But right, doesn't this like make you feel something? Like I was putting this together, and it's so hard, guys. Let me just tell you, like just so everyone knows, I'm like I do everything that you see on this channel. I'm behind it. Okay, I record these videos myself. I edit these videos myself. I publish these videos myself. I do everything by myself. There's no team. There's nothing. It's just me. So whenever I was editing this video, I was like, it was a massive challenge because first of all, this conversation is 2 hours long. Okay, so if you go into this, just understand it's a 2 hour long conversation. So it's pretty tough. I've never had a 2 hour long conversation here before like this, like recorded or live or just on this channel in general. I've had like a live that was, I think it was maybe like an hour and a half, maybe it was 2 hours, but that wasn't a 2 hour conversation where you go back and forth with someone. This is so brand new. I've never done anything like it, so I'm really putting myself out there, and I just really hope that everyone could resonate with it. Everyone's excited about it. And yeah, it's going to come out tomorrow at 12 p.m. I hope it'll be done tomorrow at 12 p.m. And you know what? It's a little early for me. I don't usually publish things that early, but I'm going to be a little I'm just trying. All right? So, if it's a little late, I apologize, but I'm going to do my best to get this out at 12 p.m. Pacific and 3 p.m. Eastern. And this was the conversation. This was the announcement, and hopefully this actually starts pretty much almost a new season of the content that you could expect to see. Maybe they're not always going to be interviews. I don't think that's always going to happen, but maybe like once a week, right? Maybe once every 2 weeks, maybe once a month. I don't know, but how about I could actually have meaningful conversations with people from different parts of life who see things differently, but also I think beautifully. Like, you know what? I'm not a libertarian, but Larry Sharp is. And you know what? We had a great conversation, right? It was fascinating. I'd love to just get people's perspectives from all across the political aisle, right? And I'd love to just try to have these conversations, and I'd love to share these conversations with you all. So, yeah, I love it so much. And oh, okay. Let's go into some questions. All right. Someone said, "Yo, man, I got a question. If RFK wasn't running, who would you vote for?" Man, that's a tough question. That's a tough question because you know what? I've been doing these videos for a while, and I'll say that a lot of people's perspective is if RFK Jr. isn't running, then I'm just not voting. Okay. Now, I will tell you this. RFK Jr. is going to be on the ballot in my state. Okay. So I have every intention to be casting my ballot for my boy. Okay. But if you're someone who is in a state where RFK Jr. isn't on the ballot yet, but you still want to vote for someone, and you're kind of in this little weird place where you're not too sure who you're going to cast your vote for, I would just say make a pros and cons list. All right. Be simple. I don't know if my perspective is just don't vote. I don't think that's a good solution. All right. I think the people who are opposing you want you to not vote. Okay. So my suggestion is if you can't vote for RFK Jr. and you still want to vote, I would deeply, deeply suggest that you make a pros and cons list. Okay. And you try to look at the candidate that you believe is the best singular expression of the future that you want to see happen in this country. Okay. All right. That's it. It's so simple. I have people that I love, all right, who are not voting for, the candidate that I like. That's totally, totally fine. Okay. I believe that everyone has their own perspective, and I honestly believe that everyone's perspective could be right for them. This is the point of voting. All right. If everyone had thought the same thing and saw the world the same way, then there'd be no point in voting. But the reason we vote is that we can all put our perspective out there on the line. We put it out there, on the line. I thought I was showing this, but put it out there on the line because it matters. All right. So vote for who you want to vote for. I'm excited about it. And let's do it. You can do write-in ballot in most states. You know what? Some people say that write-in ballot. Me and Larry actually talk a little bit about write-in ballots and how it's surprisingly not as effective in some states because some states need to like pre-approve your write-in ballot. Some states don't allow write-in ballots, and I just think that's really interesting. Alrighty, let's see. So something else I wanted to bring up too is I ran this poll the other day on the channel. Okay, this was posted probably like 2 days ago. I believe I shared this Saturday night, and it was if the 2024 presidential election was held today, who would you vote for? So this was pretty great. I was just looking at this again today, and I was like, this has almost 5,000 votes. This is almost a pretty decent sample size. Like most polls, if you ever look at their data, they poll between like 1,500 people to like 2,000 people. It's never usually anything more than that. Okay, so to have a poll of almost 5,000 people, 5,000 respondents, that's pretty wild. Okay, now people with, I would say, maybe not the best intentions will probably screenshot this and accept this as truth. Now, we all know that a lot of people here generally like RFK Jr., so that's why he was polling at 88%. Now, now, do I think this is representative of pretty much just the country at large? Probably not. But to be fair, I don't think polls are ever reliable, truly. Like, in 2016, they had President Trump before they had President Trump against Hillary. They had him polling like at 15%. And we all know what actually happened. Okay, so I don't know if polls are ever reliable, but to me, this is just further proof that polls never really, they don't really ever really make sense. Okay, but I think this is so fun to me. Someone actually asked me in the comments. Where is it? I might have to scroll for a little bit. They wrote. Okay, here it is. They wrote, I feel like this poll is heavily biased for RFK Jr. as your channel supports him. I picked RFK Jr. just being honest. Okay. And I wanted to address that because I responded with them and I wrote, yeah, that's why I wanted to do this. I wanted to see where this audience is at this time. So that was really my intention here. I didn't want to see where pretty much the country is, right? I don't have that kind of influence. I don't I don't have like millions of followers at all. But there's this little tiny corner of the internet where people appreciate RFK Jr. and they kind of come here. And I wanted to see of those people where they're standing, right? Of the people who either support Kennedy now or have supported him in the past, I'm wondering how they feel about him now. So that was kind of another sense or another layer behind this poll. And I just think this is really interesting, right? Still looks like people who are, I think this makes sense in terms of on this channel, we say that as of right now, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is pulling more votes from Trump than from Kamala. And I think you're seeing that here right now with this 8% for Trump and 88% for Kennedy Jr. Because right now it just seems like the people here generally do not like Kamala, right? The people who are consumers of political content, they're just really not interested in Kamala Harris, at least on this side of the internet. But there's still 3%. That's still a lot. That surprised me. We were looking at the data today and we were like, 3%, that's kind of a lot. I was pretty surprised by that. Even 8% is a lot. I'm glad to see that there's some sort of variety in these numbers. I would have considered myself a complete failure at what I'm doing here if this was straight up 100%, right? Because I always thought, like, I don't know if I want to make only Kennedy content, right? Because personally, I'd love these videos to reach people further than that so they could have the most impact, right? But for right now, I am happy that a lot of the videos that I'm making about Kennedy are resonating with people, and I am in alignment with Kennedy. But I'm really happy to see that there are people in the audience who are exploring, who are just, they have their minds open. So I think that's really interesting. Alrighty. Some comment said, "Hi Adam, I got a question for you. If some of us inspired enough by you to want to do the same and spread the knowledge, what's advice you'd give to get started?" Are you saying you want to make videos as well? Is that what you're saying, Oz? Because if so, I'd say 100% do it. That's incredible. I've been making videos for a really, really long time, and I I love it. I think it's really fun, right? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's taken me a really long time to get here, but if you're really, yeah, I have one piece of advice for every person here who ever wants to make not only content, but if they're considering doing something that's meaningful to them in life. Okay? And it's this. One, find something you love, okay? And in a sense, find something that loves you back. Okay? Find something you love and find something that loves you back. Now, here's what I mean by that. Like, I love chess. Okay? I love chess so much. In this little office space I have here, I have like 20 chessboards. Okay? And I'm just such a huge chess fanatic. But there's a chessboard right there. But I wouldn't say that chess loves me because I'm just really not that good at chess. You know, I love chess. Chess is awesome, but I don't know if my gifting or if it's in my capacity to actually be great at chess. Right? Same thing as to why I'll never be like a basketball player, right? Because like do I think I love the sport? You know, I think it's cool. I've had a lot of fun playing basketball, but at the end of the day, I don't think basketball loves me, right? I'm not like 6'2", right? I'm not tall. I'm not coordinated. So it just really wouldn't work out that way. So when I say things like find something you love and in a sense find something that loves you back, that would be my biggest advice for videos. And even in terms of like content niche, like niches, I would say if you wanted to do the same and spread knowledge, there's already so many different ways you could do that, right? So find a way that you think suits you, that you think it gets you excited, and just try it. Try a bunch of stuff. Throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. So that would be my suggestion. Right on. Went on to say, I've been learning and teaching myself to make content on my channel, and I think I'd have some good ideas. Do it. Just get started. I love it. All right, Jason says it's why the lanes the media and social platforms go to stifle anything that shows RFK Jr. in a positive light. 100%. 100%. Yeah, Joshua, I'm 6'2", but you still need the talent. Absolutely. But then at that point, it's do you have the raw ability, right? Because I'm not saying that all you need to be is 6'2", but I'm saying when you have the raw capacity, then you could refine it a little bit more, a little bit deeper, and then you could just get better at that point, right? Because of course, not everyone who's 6'2" or 6'6" is going to be a great basketball player. Absolutely not. But at that point, you already have like the raw ability inside, you know. And I remember this quote by Michelangelo. Let me see if I can find it. Michelangelo, what do you say about sculpting quotes? Oh man, here it is. Check this out. I love this. I just love the idea of art so much. Look at this quote right here. Michelangelo said, "The sculpture is already complete within the marble block before I start my work. It is already there. I just have to chisel away the superfluous material." Okay, so whenever I say that, oh, it's like you're 6'2", 6'6", right? That's on, but that to me is like it's the piece of marble that's already there, and then you just need to do the work and refine that. And in that is the talent. You're refining your talent. You're becoming a better shooter. You're working on your coordination, right? You're chiseling away these bad habits. You're working out, you're exercising, you're eating right. You're chiseling it because already you have the marble block, right? And now you'll be able to refine it a little bit more. And I think this is true for everyone, right? Like me, I am probably one of the worst communicators on the planet, right? Like I'm just so bad. I'm borderline dyslexic. I might be dyslexic. I'm not sure. I've never gotten tested, but I struggle with reading. I struggle with pronouncing things. You have no idea how many times I get comments from people saying, that's not how you pronounce this. You said it wrong, like you're just not good at this. Guys, I get it. I'm my biggest hater. I don't need help over here. I am my biggest hater. I don't need help. I don't need help from people telling me that I'm bad. I really don't. But I understand that inside this piece of marble that I am, I could refine things. I could get better. I could work on my communication. I could work on my speech. I could work on some, vocal exercises that could help me. I could learn how to just get better at thinking before I'm speaking. All of these things. And this is chiseling. All right. This is chiseling away the bad and exposing the good. So that's kind of what I'm saying. I always love these lives. It's good to see people talking, right? I love it. I actually didn't see Rob Schneider's endorsement of RFK Jr. Not at all. Tell me about it. I know Rob Schneider is a huge fan of RFK Jr., but I did not know. Yeah, that's hilarious. Love the timing, so I'm not sucked into the DNC. That's hilarious. I'm good, but I'm not athletic. See, some things are just excuses, though. I don't want to call you not athletic, but you are what you say you are, right? Like you could say I'm just not a morning person, or you could do the deep work of actually becoming a morning person. Like you're not until you are, right? Alrighty. Someone said, "Do you think RFK Jr. is doing the right things to win?" Like you said in the video. You know what? That's a great question. Could I get into this? All right. Are we getting into this right now? Do you think RFK is doing the things that he's? Sometimes I think he is. Other times I think I was just screaming into the void here. I really liked this video and I thought it had I think it made a lot of impact. This is probably one of the longest videos I've made here. It was 40 minutes and I don't even think there was literally any cuts here. There might have been one or two, but it was pretty crazy. And I don't know if I know someone from the campaign actually did message me and they said they watched this and they're kind of sending it forward, right? They're sending it to someone else. They're seeing what can happen. Like that's what someone said. All right. That's what they said. So I'm happy about that. But I feel like I'm still seeing more of the same content from Kennedy. Um, and I don't know. I don't know if that's the best idea. I've seen some posts from like Link Lauren. He actually made a really interesting post the other day. Let me bring it up real quick. I know I retweeted it. What's funny about lives is that you just need to be so on top of everything, right? Because you have people waiting, and like it's not like a regular video where I just have things live or things just ready. Okay, here it is. Yeah, Link Lauren shared, "Can Bobby host one campaign event that's not on the water?" I thought this was hilarious. Yeah, RFK Jr. has been getting some pretty deep shade about all these cruises because it's like, on one end, I think this sounds interesting. It's a sweepstakes, right? That's different. I think a lot of what Kennedy is doing in his campaign is just different, and I think that's cool, but I do think there's a value in hosting an actual campaign event, right? And again, it's hard. I feel like it's so easy for us to critique Kennedy, like, oh, if you want to win, you got to do this, you got to do that. Like, why aren't you doing this? It's so easy to be, in my perspective, on this chair saying, hey, man, you got to do this. It's so easy to do that. At the end of the day, this guy he was probably in court today. I don't know. I think I heard that he was going to be in court pretty much all week, right? Just fighting battles, trying to get on these ballots. So it's like, on one end, I could try to, give him some game over here on what I think he should be doing that'll reach the most people, that'll reach young people, that'll reach older people. And same thing with Link Lauren. He's trying to give some game over here. And I think that's awesome. But at the end of the day, we don't know what's going on. All right. We don't know. I feel like he's not running what people would call a normal campaign, but we also know that that's very intentional, because there are powers that be on the left and the right that are making sure that it's impossible for him to run essentially a normal campaign. Like, that could be true, right? There are other forces, other external forces that are preventing him from having a better campaign, quote unquote. But I do believe Kennedy is also pretty responsible here too, right? Because I do believe that there are things in his ability, within his reach, that he's able to do, that'll reach more people, that have more of an impact. I think that's real. Okay, personally, I think he's gone on enough podcasts. All right, that's something that I would say. All right, I think he would. I think he's done enough podcasts. I think he's great, but I don't know if that's what people need right now in this season. You know what someone said recently? They said that RK Jr. is really good at speaking in paragraphs, but he needs to be better at speaking in sentences. Okay, and I'll bring up one example here. Let's see. All right, looking for it. This is just his page. Don't know how long it was. I believe it was pretty recent. Let's see. I don't think it was this. Yeah, no, it's not that. It was okay, here it is. Oh wait, no, it's not this. This is live. All right. This is us just going live. All right, and we are just searching for it. Wasn't planning on doing this, but we are searching for it. Where is it? It was whenever he responded to Kamala Harris. All right, this must have been on the 16th or the 17th. It must have been the 17th. Oh man, I'm embarrassing myself right now. Where the heck is it? Oh man, I couldn't find it. All right, I couldn't find it. But it was a pretty gangster response. But the problem is, it was like a paragraph long. All right, it was awesome, but it was a paragraph long, and I believe only the last sentence really mattered, right? And that's what I'm saying is kind of the concern. That's kind of the norm with Kennedy. Like, he speaks in paragraphs, but people listen in sentences. That's the best way I'm ever going to say it. I need to write that down. All right, let me bring up my super professional Google Docs page. All right, I wasn't planning on doing this, but here it is. All right. It is. Oh, you got it? Can you send it to me? Perfect. He speaks in paragraphs. Oh my gosh. He speaks in paragraphs, but people listen in sentences. Okay. That's what I would say is Kennedy's biggest obstacle right now. All right. I think we got it here. No, this isn't it. No, this isn't it. Yeah, we thought it was something else. But I do believe this is probably Kennedy's biggest weakness here. He speaks in paragraphs, but people listen in sentences. So there's some trouble there. Okay, I'm gonna look at comments again. Jay says, "Love your channel, Adam. You do great. You do great work. Thank you so much. That's really nice." RK is an inspiration to all. I love it. Alrighty. Adam, if RFK isn't on their ballot, why wouldn't they write his name on the ballot? He's on the California ballot. Yeah, he is on the California ballot. Yeah. Okay. So when I say that you won't be able to always write him in, because some states have write-in policies, they have write-in restrictions. Okay, so that's kind of my perspective. All right. Someone says, "What is RFK Jr.'s best policy?" I feel like that's really subjective. All right. We go on Kennedy 24 and we look at his policies pretty frequently, right? I'd say his take on the military industrial complex, I feel like that's pretty great. He's the only one talking about how to end the forever wars. This makes sense to me. Some people say that his perspective on the border between us and Mexico is probably the right perspective. There's an argument to be made that this is very similar to what Trump was doing before, right? So I don't know what your perspective is. Some people have deal with chronic disease in their families, and they're voting for him because they feel like he's the only one who's talking about vaccines and chronic disease. And if that's important to you, then that's going to be yours, right? Like, if you want me to give you a bunch of reasons why to vote for him, I don't know if I'm going to be the person to list out a list of reasons why I'm going to vote for him. I feel like what I want to do here is I want to get people to actually make those decisions for themselves. All I want to do here is share the information with you. And then you can go ahead, take this information and make your own decision, because we all know how valuable it is to have someone that we like say the same thing that we're thinking, and then it just reaffirms what we want. Right? Now, I don't know if that's my position here. I don't know if that's my responsibility here, right? I love when The Rock was talking about pretty much endorsing Biden, and if he's going to be endorsing a candidate this year, right? And The Rock said, "You know what? I learned my lesson. I don't think that's what I need to do." All right, because who I'm voting for and who you're voting for should be between your ballot and yourself. All right. I don't know if it's something to be shared. I feel like right now in these videos, I'm able to share information in kind of an entertaining way. And I think that's good. All right. Now, I know we have kind of a preference for talking a lot about RFK Jr. here, right? We like the guy. I love how he's the only person am who I believe he's sincere about in healing the divide, right? Or in actually communicating with both sides of the political aisle and actually creating some sort of meaningful alternative that essentially becomes the more moderate view. I think that's awesome, right? Do I think that Kamala Harris is going to be someone who is actually able to communicate with Republicans and create some sort of middle ground? I don't know if I believe that. All right, you could believe that. That's great. You have your own perspective. I love it, right? And if you believe that Trump is going to be someone who is able to work between the political aisle and just create some sort of meaningful future, then that's awesome for you. Do it. Vote for who you want to vote for. I've said this a million times here, all right? Like, vote for who you want to vote for, but know how you vote, okay? And I think this is how you know how you vote, right? Like, I feel like I'm really in alignment with Kennedy. I believe him when he says that, like, right here, left isn't better, right isn't better, better is better. And right now we're playing tug of war between both sides, right? We're playing, like, the rights had their chance, the lefts had their chance, and you know what? I'm I'm down to roll the dice a bit. Personally, I like it. I remember in this one show that I like to watch, I believe this show is called Parks and Rec, and Ron Swanson in an episode was, because he was talking to another what is it? He was talking to another character about who was trying to kind of stop a wedding, and he was telling her how, you know what, there's nothing that you could have been able to do. You can't stop these kids from getting married to each other. You could think it's a mistake or not, but at the end of the day, I was married 3 times, and I was married to each of those women much longer than these people have even known each other. All right. But at the end of the day, you never know, because now I'm divorced, and who knows, right? But what I do know is that you pick someone you like and you roll the dice, because at the end of the day, you're never going to know, right? So there's people who they talk about their favorite, political candidates, and they're like, okay, well, but he can't win. I'm going to vote for them because, like, I don't know, things were better for them, or things were better in the past, or you know what, Kamala's she's just not as bad as Trump, so I'm going to vote for Kamala. Like, you can have all those thoughts, and you're free to think that way. But at the end of the day, I think if your perspective is fear and you're scared of voting for someone out of the sheer illusion that they can't win, then I would say you're never going to know, because there were people who really believed that Clinton was going to win. There were people who were certain that Trump was going to win in 2020. All right. And at the end of the day, you never know. All you can do is pick someone you like and roll the dice. Okay. Pick someone you like and roll the dice. Wow. Someone said, "You're a beautiful man." Hey, you know what? I love it. Thank you so much. I agree. My fiance would say the same thing. Alrighty. Someone said, if you have the time at some point, I'd like to collaborate. You know what? My email is, you can find it at adamcmoreno.net. Go for it. All right. I believe I've read every email that people have ever sent me. All right. And I'm a deep appreciator of him. Right. I believe I've responded to every email I've ever received from people. Great. Yeah, exactly. People listen in sound bites, not in sentences. For sure, for sure. Yeah, he is already appealing the NY decision. I'm sorry, I'm like so behind. Janelle said, "You are a cutie pie." Thank you so much. Don't let my fiance see this. All right. Oh my gosh, my personal stance on Trump's attempted assassination. You know what? I love it. I love it. Sorry. I'm not saying I love the attempted assassination attempt. I'm saying I love the question. To be very clear, okay. I'm genuinely so appalled that so many people have stopped talking about this. Okay, it's been more than a month since this happened, and people just completely forgot about it, and they're just moving along their days. After this happened, people were saying that, like, Trump won the campaign, he just won the election. That's it. Trump just won his second term. That's what people were saying. All right. I saw a tide begin to change whenever this happened. And sorry, let me just clear things up real quick. I saw the tide begin to change whenever this happened. And it almost looked like it just reversed itself. Okay. Because as soon as this happened, as soon as Trump was pumping his fist up in the air saying, "Fight, fight, fight," people like Zuckerberg were coming out and saying, "Oh, this was the most bad A thing I've ever seen in my entire life. This was a symbol of strength." So many people were endorsing Trump. And I really, for a second, I thought, whoa, this is history. This is unprecedented. We don't know what's happening now. This is uncharted territory for sure. And first of all, I'm like deeply sad that happened. I do believe that was an expression of the extreme divide that people are experiencing right now. Like, one of the questions I asked Larry Sharp was, why does it feel like we can't talk to each other anymore? Why do we feel like we can't communicate with each other anymore? And almost, how do we create spaces for more meaningful dialogue between people? Right? Because I believe what happened on July 13th was an expression of people who felt so lost that they couldn't even communicate what they felt. So they actually had to resort to essentially this horrific act. So I think it was absolutely terrible. I think we need to work hard to prevent this in the future. And I think we do that by generally keeping the temperature lower. And you know what I thought personally? Because you said personal. Okay. What I thought personally was, obviously I don't think I'm responsible at all. But at a personal level, I was thinking, like, because people are blaming the media for this nasty rhetoric, right? And in 2024, there's an argument to be made that the new media is just people, right? Yes, there's CNN, yes, there's Fox, but there's also things like Breaking Points. There's the Tucker Carlson podcast, right? There's Joe Rogan, all right? there's, Benny Johnson, there's all these people. So there's an argument to be made that these are also the new faces of media. And honestly, in there, you also see the same extreme perspectives. Could I share something real quick? All right, well, let me look up what's this kid's name? Let me look this kid up. Sorry, I know he's like 20. He's like 21. He's like not a kid, but I thought I was sharing my screen. Sorry. Okay. This guy is named Harry Sisson. I don't know if anyone knows this person. All right. I don't know if, do you guys see him? Do you guys watch this guy? Let me know in the comments if you guys are a consumer of Harry Sisson. Just so I know, right? Because he also makes political content. He's definitely left wing, but and he's incredibly consistent here too. Someone said, "Oh goodness, Harry." Nope. So even if you don't watch him, you probably know him. All right. And there was one video where he was saying that it was like a complete disaster on like the Twitter X Spaces, right? And what was this? Okay, it was this video.
Folks,
this was a 5-minute video, and I don't know if he changed his title. I don't even think this was the title before, but I just don't know if this is probably the best way you could talk about things. All right, because he is a left wing guy, but I just sense so much bias when I watch his videos, and it makes me so sad. I really do, because one day I was watching these because like could I share something kind of personal with you guys? Like, I am not personally happy. He talks about a whole lot of nothing. Okay, check this out. But I'm pretty upset with myself just because I've been making a lot of videos lately, right? And honestly, my videos are long. Okay? And I don't like them being long. Okay? Whenever I see my videos and I look at these times, right? I'm like super annoyed because I'm like 20 minutes. Are you kidding me? 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 11, 40 minutes, 16 minutes, 17 minutes, 12 minutes. I'm like, this is like way too long. 26 minutes, 26 minutes, 16 minutes. Like all these are really long videos. And so one day I was studying like this guy and I was studying another creator. I'm like, how do they do such a good job of making videos so short? Like, it's how do you condense an entire conversation in less than 6 minutes? It doesn't make any sense to me. So I started watching this video, and I pretty much watched this video to completion, and also a couple other videos. But the problem is the reason why he's able to make these videos is because he has such two-dimensional conversations that only makes sense from one side of wherever you're standing. And it's genuinely so irritating for me because that's just not how I am. Like I cannot have a two-dimensional conversation if I know we're living in a three-dimensional space. Okay? That is just a fact. And what Harry Sisson does a great job of, and I do think this is great. And I'm not saying that he's wrong for this at all. I'm just saying that I can't do this. Okay. And I'm almost a little bit jealous of him because he's able to condense conversations and just put it out there. And I think that's great. But for me, I feel like I need to go ahead and attack things from every perspective that I could imagine. Right. I want to know what the right is saying. I want to know what the left is saying. I want to know what moderates are saying. What are normal people saying? That's what I want to know. And a lot of the videos that, Harry Sisson shares is they're just attacking. They're just attacking they're just attacking one side of the political aisle, right? And pretty much being completely unaware of his own party's criticisms. So it really messes me up a bit. So yeah, it's better to get every perspective. I agree with you. But the problem is whenever you get every perspective, it makes videos really long and it makes it harder to put out pretty much the most content. So it's tough. It's tough. But okay, someone says, remember, be generic when you're in the comments on main party channels. Ask questions that lead them to answers. Alrighty. Where are the protest streams? I don't know what you're talking about. Let me see if I can scroll up real quick. Where are the protest streams? Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I need a little bit more context. I'm sorry. Not too long for me. I really enjoy your videos. Thank you so much, Sandra. That really means a lot to me. And honestly, like I don't mind making long videos. I'm just kind of sharing a weakness that I believe that I have, all right, which is I feel like sometimes I'm not brief. You know what it is actually? I just I just thought about this the other day because I've had this thought for some time, which is Kennedy speaks in paragraphs. Also, to be fully transparent, I did hear this from someone else. All right, I heard this from Ernick Manis on the Mind Shift podcast. It's incredible, but they were talking about RK for a while, and he was saying that RK Jr. speaks in paragraphs. Okay, and I added that, but people listen in sentences because I think that's right. But I do think that Kennedy speaks in paragraphs, but people listen in sentences. But I also want to make that own critique for myself, right? Because I feel like I speak in paragraphs, and it's so troubling for me because I know that people just tune in and out. All right, and if I'm not concise, then I'm losing people. So, and that's what I'm seeing in these videos of mine that are just so long, right? Like on all of these videos, you could imagine on all of these videos, there's gonna be many comments who say, "Bro, enough with the yapping. Could we just keep it going?" And guys, I take that like so deeply. I believe in that so much. I do believe I have a problem with yapping, and it's tough for me. Okay, and I just want you all to know I'm trying to get better, and in me trying to get better, I was trying to look into, other people who I believe do a better job. And unfortunately, I do think Harry Sisson does a better job, but unfortunately, I believe it's a double-edged sword because he is very concise. But the problem is that he's too concise that he doesn't share the entire spectrum. So that's kind of what I'm believing. Okay, I'm gonna try to be more concise while also still getting a decent peripheral of how things actually are. That's my intention. I really hope I could live up to it, but just as I said earlier, it's tough out here. All right. It really is. These are long videos that I'm making, and I'm still the only one editing and publishing and making the thumbnails and titles. And yes. Oz, thank you so much. Never bothered me. When are y'all getting married? Also, if this is on screen, I got 3 questions answered in one video. Oh man. I don't know if I want to get too specific, but we're we are not having a long engagement. I'll tell you that much. Alrighty. That kid was created by his mom and dad's money, and he has zero grasp of reality. You know what? We could say a lot of things about Harry Sisson if that's who you're talking about. All right, 100%. This guy, I made a video on him having. He was on the DNC's payroll. I believe he's made over $500,000 given to him by the Democrats. That is absurd. And there's a lot of people like this. There's a handful of creators who have received significant, astronomical amounts of money from the Democratic Party to pretty much pump out content and make them look good. It is tough. It's crazy. Anything pro Harris is so cringy. It makes my skin crawl. The full content is great, fantastic even, but short formatting is golden right now. Oh yeah, someone also asked about shorts. Let me also just share this. Guys, I used to make short content all the time. Like I made way more shorts than I made long form videos. Like 100%. Like I was primarily a short form creator. Okay, like look at all these. I don't know if anyone has ever seen these. Some of these have pretty decent views, like 10,000 Joe Biden, right? Roaring kitty videos, talking about Elon Musk and aliens. Here we go with RFK Jr. right? Kennedy would wipe the floor. Like these are me talking about the rabbit. Terrible product. Did anyone even buy that? Did anyone like? There's just no way. Oh look, Harry Sisson. Oh my gosh. Hey, this is the video. All right, guys. All right. All right. We'll watch this video. Okay. We will watch this video.
Is paid for by the DNC. I just learned that a lot of political content creators are actually funded by.
Hey, here's some quick. This is such a funny video, but this song,
Harry Sisson is paid.
the song that I use here is actually the same song or it's the same part of the song of this video with Larry Sharp. All right, so that's really cool. Also, guys, if you're not following me on X or Instagram, what are you guys doing? All right, I'm like going super viral on X right now. That's like hilarious. I've never had a tweet like ever do this well before. Almost 3,000 views, over 200 comments. That's pretty crazy. Okay, but back here. So this is a video I made about Harry Sisson and pretty much him getting paid from the DNC. Look at this.
Paid for by the DNC. I just learned that a lot of political content creators are actually funded by the DNC, including Harry. So Harry, who is managed by Palette Management, has been receiving hundreds of thousands of dollars from the DNC. Now,
that was $200,000. That was a paycheck. That's wild.
I want to be honest, I kind of enjoy his content sometimes. I'm someone who enjoys listening to many different perspectives, even whenever I don't necessarily agree with much that they have to say.
If there's one thing about me that you could rely on, it's that I'm consistent. You know, I don't know how many months ago this was, but I'm just consistent. Like I will watch your content even if I disagree with you. Right? We will sit down and have a long conversation even if I disagree with you. I think that's awesome. Okay? I don't see things as if like I'm right and you're wrong. I see things as if like I'm me, you're you. This is how I see things. Let's see how you see things. Like that's just how I see it. And yeah.
I just personally find it beneficial, and it's part of my consumption habits to make sure I'm listening to a more holistic viewpoint. But now that I'm discovering that a lot of these accounts that I've been attached to are funded indirectly by the DNC, that kind of sucks. We watch these people because we trust their opinions, we trust their perspectives, and we just trust their logic in a lot of these cultural movements that are taking place. And now we're seeing that a lot of these people who appear to be journalists.
They also say the same thing about Under the Desk News. That's why I include Under the Desk News here, who I also enjoy their content. I think they're a great journalist. Yeah.
Are actually bought. Now, I'm not telling you to stop listening to these creators. I'm not telling you that they never have any. Harry.
All right, part 2.
Stop listening to these creators. I'm not telling you that they never have anything valuable to say. I just think this information should be disclosed. These young people have incredible influence and incredible reach. And everyone who's looking at these people for news coverage and information, they should know that these people are being paid by the DNC and that their perception is skewed because there's a dollar amount attached to it. These people have made names for themselves by idolizing Joe Biden and completely despising Trump. And I just think you should be getting information from people who haven't been bought. But that's just me. Agree, disagree? Let me know in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going there. And if you want to stay up to date on news, internet, and people.
Yeah. So I used to make a lot of short videos. And the people who right now are saying like that I should make shorts. I don't know if it's particularly this comment, but that was another comment suggesting that I make shorts. Like I said, I want to. It's not that I don't want to. It's more that there's the, in terms of energy that I have. Like I said, I do everything myself. You know, first I have to, you know, research, create the videos, or research, create like a slide deck, think about what I'm going to say, create some sort of almost like outline, like a rough outline. Then I need to record everything. And then I need to process everything. And then I need to edit everything. Then I need to export everything. And then I need to upload everything. At that time, I'm still working on creating a thumbnail. And then I'm creating a title. And then I'm uploading it. And that just takes a lot of time. So now to add shorts on top of it it's really a lot. You know, like these people that you see from like let me see. Let me bring up Let me bring up someone else who I don't always agree with, but I think they're a great creator. Okay. Benny Johnson. All right. This guy puts out so many videos and so much shorts. It is wild. Look at this 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, 13 hours. Guys, this is 5 videos that were put out today. Absolutely wild. Okay. Absolutely wild. And look at these shorts. These, I bet probably at least 5 of these were posted today, I would guess. Okay. And the thing is, this is what you could do whenever you have a team, right? Like, I guarantee you he is not doing all this by himself. I guarantee he has a small team of people who are dedicated, who help him with, like the editing, exporting, the concepts, the titles, the thumbnails. Like, all this takes time, right? Like, look at these thumbnails. These are very specific thumbnails, right? Like, these are artificially generated. So that tells me that Kamala, like, you needed to have a prompt for that. Now you're thinking about AI prompting, and this just takes a ton of time, right? So whenever you look at even someone like me and like my content, like, I try to simplify things so much that I reuse pictures, right? I have a template, like, I'm always in the same spot right here, right? And this is just me trying to simplify things because, again, I'm by myself, right? I have to do everything by myself. I don't have a team, but this is me trying to simplify the process so I could actually continue to make videos in a way that I believe will have the most impact, right? At least to the best of my ability right now. So yeah, so you say do shorts. Hopefully in the future, if what I'm doing ends up working out, then I'd love to do more shorts. But for right now, it seems like my hands are tied up a bit. So I hope you understand. Render says yes, encourage critical thinking. Absolutely. Yeah, Larry Sharp is incredibly impressive. Like, truly. Just today I was talking about him, and I said that Larry Sharp is probably the most gangster libertarian out there right now. Like, he's great. All right. Fred says what you have to say has depth. That's why your videos are longer. But yes, there's also sorry. But yes, there's also value in being concise and to the point. Otherwise, you'll lose people who might otherwise listen. Exactly. I completely agree with you. So I'm understanding kind of my limitations and where and the areas that I could grow in, but I'm also understanding the value of creating these longer videos. So I do appreciate that comment. Thank you. Alrighty. Just be you, dude. Thank you so much. You should do shorts targeting conservatives. Maybe. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Maybe. Dude, I blink and 5 years pass by. Oh man. That's crazy. So I do think I'm probably gonna get ready to kind of wind down this live. I believe I talked about everything I wanted to talk about. But man, just reading some of these last minute comments real quick. Enough with the yapping. I know. I'm bad. I'm gonna have a disclaimer that just says I'm sorry about the yapping, or P.S. There's a lot of yapping, right? The yapping isn't yapping. You're good. I appreciate you. Alrighty. Our short attention spans are absolute detriment to true knowledge. You know what? You're not wrong. Use your long videos to make shorts. Yeah, that was the plan, right? And the problem is that still takes a lot of time, right? And I've tried to create like templates that help me make that process easier, but it still takes a lot of time, especially if I upload a long video every day, and let's say I get 3 shorts out of it. Now I'd be uploading 4 videos a day, and it is tough. It is tough out here. Don't be down on yourself. You're a great communicator, and you have years to grow. Thank you so much. Keep looking at Chase. Amen. Let's get it. Who's that assistant kid? That's funny. I'm trying to scroll a bit. I am so sorry. I'm a video editor. If you need one day, I surprisingly know a lot of video editors, but even then, it's probably like the finance, like the finance portion of it, like because I do want to like pay people well, right? And unfortunately, I'm just like it's just not in the cards right now. So Hopefully one day. Hopefully one day. You are organically smart. Thank you so much. Get Larry. I did. I did. He's awesome. But it's gonna be out tomorrow. Come on. Alex said he did. Or Alexa said he did. There we go. I love it. What kind of content will we make after November 5th? Hopefully any content that I resonate with. Hopefully we're still talking politics. Hopefully we're still having those meaningful conversations, and hopefully people just show up. All right. I'll make these videos for as long as people watch them, for sure. Alrighty. Christine said, I sent you an email with a poll like this from an independent source and had similar results. Really? That's interesting. Wow. I love it. Alrighty. You have a bachelor's degree in yapology. I do got my degrees. Man, unfortunately not in yapology. That'd be hilarious though. Peace, man. Thanks for speaking with us. Of course. Thank you so much. Do you have a link to the Zogby poll? I don't. I've searched for it so much. I couldn't find it. It was really, really, yeah, I spent a lot of time looking for it. I could not find it at all. Man, we the people content. I love it. Let people know there's a debate petition on Kennedy's site. All right, guys, go check out the debate petition on Kennedy's site. All right. I don't know if petitions ever work. I don't know how valuable it is. I do think that we can make more of an impact by just making more noise about this, continuing to have these conversations, continuing to elevate the quality of conversations we're having, and just getting this message out to the most amount of people. I think that's great. Exposing the DNC is the next agenda. That is so funny. I wish there were more influencers doing what you're doing. You are so cool. That's so sweet. That's so sweet. Thank you so much. Someone says, do you think RFK will win if his campaign stays the same until election day? I think Kennedy should make some changes, because I think the next, what is it? Let me see. Let's see. How many days is it until? Yep, here it is. There's 77 days until the election. All right. You know what? I think I was going to make a video on kind of like a new season, and I wanted to call it like 75 hard, right? Because whenever you work out, there's like these like training programs where it's like 75 hard. Yeah, you do this for 75 days straight, and you're going to completely change your body. You're going to change your habits if you just commit to 75 days. I think Kennedy should do his version of 75 hard. I think that'd be really, really great. Oh my gosh! Finally, I'm so happy you mentioned this. Please, I'm so happy you're mentioning this. Get Kennedy on your show and tell him what you think. Guys, could I say this loud and clear? I have tried. Okay? I have tried many times to get Kennedy here. Okay? Either he's too busy, he doesn't want to, I don't know. Okay? But I am flattered that you guys think I have so much control over this. I'm flattered that you think I could just hit him up on my phone and say, hey, my boy, RFK Jr., why don't you come on the show today? I'm flattered that you think me and him are tight like that. Not at all. All right. Not at all. There are layers of people that you need to go through to get his attention. I have no idea if he knows I exist. I have no idea if he knows what's happening here. I know some people on his campaign know, but in terms of him getting on the show, I would say that's probably incredibly unlikely, unfortunately. Okay, maybe if other people make enough noise, I feel like I've done everything I could. All right, I reached out to the campaign multiple times. I really thought it was going to happen once. It never did. I've tried. All right, I'm flattered that you think I have that kind of control, but yeah, I'm sorry. Try to get his VP. I have also extended the invitation to Shanahan. I thought it was great. Have you had conversation with influential people in the RFK campaign about you officially being a campaign? Just text him. That's funny. That is funny. Shanahan might be open to an interview with you. Shanahan, my girl, come on the show. Let's go. I want to talk tech with you. Please. Let's talk AI. I love it. Get on here. How do you go about your politics research? You know what it is? Here's what I would say about politics research. You're just studying humans. All right. I think political research is just human research. Where are people at right now? Okay. Maybe it's me being a psych major, or I was a psych major before I graduated, but I don't know. You're just studying people. All right. You're just thinking about people. Voters are people. They all have their own way of thinking. They all have their own perspective. They all have their own pressure and pain points. And they're just all trying to make sense of things, of life. And they choose a candidate who they want to roll the dice with. Okay. Political anthropology, Christopher Lape. There we go. What a beautiful sentence. I love it. I'm going to screenshot that. Political anthropology. There we go. There we go. I took the worst picture ever. Someone take a picture of that, send it to me. But yeah, this is all it is. All right. That is all it is. Have you thought about talking with other content creators to collaborate about RFK? I have reached out to other creators who talk RFK. They're awesome. They've never responded to my messages. I don't know. I feel like I might be like blacklisted from them. I don't know. I don't get it. Hey Joshua, thank you so much. That's super sweet. But I swear, I feel like I might be blacklisted amongst these other people who create content for RFK. They just don't talk to me. I'm always commenting and sharing their stuff. They just don't really talk to me. I don't know. I really like them. I adore their content. I benefit from their content, and I think it's awesome. But for whatever reason, it's well, what do you call it whenever you collaborate with someone but they don't collaborate with you? That's what happened. That's where I'm at right now. I'm collaborating with them, but they're not collaborating with me. That's funny. Same. I feel like a black sheep. Yeah, that I feel it. I really do feel it. Oh, I literally watch every video you post. You're the only RFK news I get besides News Nation. You know what? I do think about this too. I'm like, who else is talking about these on YouTube? I don't know. I don't know who else is making these types of videos like me. I do not know who else is doing it like we're doing it here. I know people are making a lot of short form content, right? And I think that's awesome, but I just don't know. I don't know if there's anyone else who's making these longer form videos like this. I don't know if they are. Oh, Alex, you're saying you are? Let me bring up your channel real quick. Let me bring up your channel. Alrighty. Alexa Blu-ray. You're okay. All right. I am seeing a bit of them. Yeah, I see one. I see a couple of videos about RFK Jr. Are these short form videos? They do look like they're vertical videos. Yeah, like I was saying, I have seen some people make some vertical content, but in terms of long form in terms of long form videos, kind of like these, I don't know if there's anyone else who's doing it this way. You know what I mean? Like more like podcast style, right? That's kind of what I'm saying, right? Same way with Benny over here. So yeah, I don't know, but it's really someone else just said. Um, they were like, "Oh, you're my second news source for RFK Jr." I thought that was hilarious. And one of the comments on there was, "Wait, who's your first?" Who's your first news source? And it was hilarious, right? Yeah, it was hilarious. Serene voice, thank you so much. That is so nice. Tell Kennedy to video supporters upset with him not being in debates or being suppressed. Also add hit music. I agree. Let's try it. Oh, Alexa, you did say not like yours though. Sorry, I didn't see that. It's nothing special. You know what? I think everything's special. I really do. All right, because like it's all seeds, right? You plant a seed in a garden, and it doesn't look like it's anything. Okay, you plant a seed in a garden, and it doesn't look like anything. But then what happens? You start to curate it. You start to water it. The seed begins to grow, and then it becomes something extraordinary. All right. Mustard seed, anyone? All right, the smallest seed on the planet, and it becomes something so gigantic and beautiful. Amen, anyone? Alrighty. But I'm continuing to scroll. Let's see. Yeah, you keep at it. I'm telling you, you could absolutely create some sort of meaningful impact. 100%. Janelle, one plants, one waters, God gives. There we go. Amen. I love it. Just like the cosmos. Amen, people. Great analogy. I love it. Okay, we've gone on for an hour. I'm so grateful that every single person is here. Like, how beautiful is it that we could all come together, hang out? There's over 100 people here. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for giving me your time, for hanging out with me, for being with me as I share this kind of exciting announcement of the first interview, and who knows what's going to happen next. It's incredible. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all so incredibly and so deeply and so profoundly. I hope everyone genuinely has an amazing, incredible night. Okay? Thank you so much. And I will see you all next time. Wow. I'm just looking at the last minute comments real quick. So worth our time. You're so sweet. This is our tribe. There we go. I love it. Dude, don't mind these people who say you're yapping, all right? There we go. There we go. All right. Peace, everyone. Have a good one. Kennedy's campaign should hire you to head a social media campaign that kills. I'm telling you. You have my number. All right. You guys send me. I'll answer the phone if you guys call. Just like RFK said, it seems like the Democratic Party is scrambling. You have my number. Kennedy campaign, you have my number. I'll answer if you guys call. All right. Okay. Thank you all so much. I will see you all next time. Good night.